Well, thank you all again for taking the time to speak with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Okay, so I wanted to get started asking about creating the script for the film and what that experience was like of really getting the script and the story together for the movie overall.
So, the process of writing the script, because this film is so personal to me, was kind of challenging at times because I had to, go back into my memories and think about things that I had left in the past long ago. But it was really healing and therapeutic as well. It was just like a really great process. And interestingly enough, the story, it evolved a lot. Jasmine, as a character in the original draft, was only seen through Gail's perspective. The film was told entirely from Gail's point of view. And after I met my producers at Animal Kingdom, they kept on, wanting to pull more and more about Jasmine's experience. And so I made the choice to split the narrative so that we would also follow Jasmine and learn about her inner life. And I'm so glad that, that I made that decision, because it also opened up the rest of her world and allowed me to spend time with other characters like Katie, who's played by Noah. And I think it really, it added a lot of texture that would have been missing otherwise.
And speaking about the characters, I also wanted to ask about the casting and Noah and Zoe. I also wanted to ask you too as well about signing on to star in the film and what you both really liked about your characters in the film.
I got the email that there was a thriller that they were looking for a young woman for, and I was immediately scared. This was the first time I've ever gotten it in my email ever, anything like this. So I was intrigued, I was scared, but as soon as I finished the script, I was absolutely hooked. I was hooked. I did all of my audition process on tape, so that was a little interesting. I hadn't got a feel for Mariama too much at all. So I was like kind of going in blind and trying to do what I could. And then I went to New York and we had some drinks and a meeting, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope. I just please. That's mine.
Yeah, I got the pleasure of doing it in person and meeting Mariama, and the email I got was pretty exactly just a description of me as a human being. I hope not the negative aspects of Katie, but kind of just this New York City raised Jew that's really hip hoppity, excited, just always energetic and trying to bring light to a room, and can sometimes be annoying. And I'm like, okay, really coming at me for that one. And I was like, I guess I have to try this. And I felt instantly hooked to her, and some of the lines were just exactly exact references to my high school life, word for word, name for name. And it was pretty wild for me to see that come to life in a script. And then we met the rest of the girls, and I think the rest was history. Once we all locked in our positions, we all just became such a tight knit family, and Mariama really curated this great group. Yeah.
For both of them, I knew immediately that that they were the ones for the role. Yeah, it was very clear.
Stop it.
Yeah, from the jump. I'm not even just saying that because you're here. It's really true. Yeah.
And once everyone signed on to star in the film, what was it like really getting to work together and building those characters and really getting, maybe did you have any rehearsal time, or what was that experience like, just really building the characters together?
We did, yeah. We had rehearsal time, fortunately. So, I had time with Zoe one-on-one. We also had time in group, and it was a lot of conversation, about the characters. I think it's so important, for the relationship between Jasmine and her friends, for there to be that kind of familiarity. So
Yeah, we had great preparation time. That was one of the things I was just so grateful for, because even before stepping on set, we had all of this time together to run scenes, to talk about backstory for Jasmine, what happened before she got to college. And that stuff is it's gold. It really is. It helps so much. First day, our confidence was so high, and that's because of Mariama.
Yeah. We got all together. We had our first time meeting each other was after everyone had read the script and taken time. And I remember getting there and being like, these are my questions. I need them answered. Because just reading the script without seeing it, on a screen all put together, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Because it was scary, but also because there were so many questions and we had them all answered. And then, like Zoe said, we started to build Jasmine's life up and ask each other personal questions about our own lives to try to get to know each other and how we would maybe act in a situation like this, and what it means for our lives, how we see it. Because I think every opinion really comes into play or every outlook on this story really comes into play in the film.
And also, I wanted to ask about the location where you shot the film and what that experience was like of really finding the college and being able to shoot on the campus as well.
Yes, exactly that reaction. So a lot of the exteriors we shot at Vassar in Poughkeepsie, but there was one particular location that plays as the dorm where Jasmine and Katie live, and that location was an abandoned college in upstate New York called Pace Briarcliff. It was, we shiver because it was, pretty freaky. It had haunted vibes. It was also cold. It was also literally cold there because, as you can imagine, abandoned college, it's not, the heating is not working. They would production pumped in heat for us, but we'd have to turn it off, when we were shooting. And so it definitely lent some atmosphere to those sets.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have been as spooky if it was just like hot out.
Yeah, if it was summer,
summer,
we would
think about that.
Yeah, there's snow up to my waist. I don't know if I'm being dramatic.
No, it was.
And
if not snow, it was rain.
Yeah, it was.
Every day I would wear a pair of tights, leggings. I bought ski pants. I don't ski, but I have my own several pairs of ski pants now. Yeah, heated vest. Yeah, and I'd still be cold.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to ask about getting to create the physicality, like you mentioned, like being cold on set. Did that maybe influence the way that you approach the physicality for the characters as well, and creating that part of the characters overall?
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it supposed to be that cold in the movie? Like, I don't know if it was.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that was method.
You guys
Talk to Mother Nature. And
right.
Yeah,
I think it played a part. So much of Jasmine is shrinking as we watch the film, and I definitely was shrinking. It was really, really cold. But I think the idea of even making yourself smaller when you're in situations that you don't know if you'll be completely accepted. The cold definitely did that for me, I would say.
Katie kind of had to pretend like it wasn't happening, which is kind of like what she was doing throughout the film, just pretending like none of that stuff was happening, because it just, why would this glamorous life at a high, well-esteemed college be anything but amazing? So yeah, I definitely wasn't expressing how much I was cold.
And Mariama, I also wanted to ask about directing the film. When I saw this was your first feature that you directed, so I wanted to ask about that experience for you and really approaching directing after working on the script as well.
Yeah, it was, I remember thinking to myself at a certain point on set that it was the most creatively fulfilling experience of my life. I really, I was really amazed by what we did and what was possible. Before shooting Master, in terms of my own projects, I had worked on short films, and the longest shoot for that was 3 days. And I remember after those 3 days, I was exhausted. And so going into this film, I couldn't imagine how I would be able to do that for, 30 plus days. But it's, the momentum and the adrenaline just really took over. And I was so excited every single day to be working on the film.
And also, I wanted to ask about producing the film as well, and what that experience was like for you to direct and produce during production as well.
Right. So I was an executive producer of the film, not a producer, but it was really great to, kind of take a look behind the scenes and learn from our producers Brad Reccaparda and Josh Astrachan and Andy Roa, learn a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes and how they're able to do the amazing work that they did. So it's something that I'd love to, continue to do and be involved in. And it was definitely a learning process.
And I also wanted to ask you a little about bringing the movie to South by Southwest and having the movie play at the festival, and what kind of reactions you've maybe received so far, and being able to share it with audiences there at the festival.
So I'm so excited to be here at South by Southwest. We were also and are so excited that we premiered at Sundance. But of course, because of COVID, the festival was virtual. So it's, particularly exciting to be here and to be with, festival goers, and to have the opportunity to watch the film with an audience. So our screening is on Monday, and I just, I can't wait to see how the crowd responds. Are they going to be scared? Are they going to laugh? And all of that excitement is just something that I'm really looking forward to. And, from the people who have seen it from other festivals or other venues, it's just been really encouraging to hear their reactions and to hear that they're actually scared. It's been really cool.
I think that was mainly it, but thank you all again for taking the time out to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you
for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks again. Bye.